Dear friends in the Dhamma, this is my talk about MulikaDharma, or the most important part of the Buddhist teaching. So the essential Dharma is very little. You could explain it in one or two Dhamma talks, but still it would be enough. It creates the basis for your meditation. You know where to go. You know what the aim of your meditation is. Sometimes it's also called the Arya Banya, or the noble wisdom. The wisdom or the knowledge you need for your meditation, for your progress towards enlightenment. Mozart had a lot of paramis. What means parami? Parami are experiences from my past life. Many people who are making very quick progress in meditation have a lot of experience from past lives. So they've done meditation before, and as soon as they sit down again in meditation in this life, they make some very quick radical progress. Now Mozart had paramis on a worldly level. When he was 4, he started playing piano and various instruments. With 5, he composed his first symphony. All the things he has not learned in that life. So it was an experience from past lives which manifested in his in his early childhood already. So the most important part of the Buddhist teaching is also what made the Buddha into a Buddha, or into a fully enlightened being. The Buddha was sitting under the Bodhi tree, reflecting on the senses, and he could see that all the impressions from the 6 senses are anicca, impermanent, they are dukkha, or non-satisfactory, and they are anatta, or they are meaningless or pointless. So whatever comes through our 6 senses is just an impression which is impermanent. If we grasp it, it leads to dissatisfaction, and they are meaningless, empty, or pointless. Nowadays we can see that Buddhism is very ritualistic. I believe that 70 or 80% of all the Buddhist monasteries, temples and viharas, and all the Buddhist monks are engaged in ritualistic Buddhism. So just keeping up the chanting and the rituals and the culture around the Buddhist teaching is what is now the biggest part of the Buddhist religion. So there are very few places and very few teachers who are teaching the deeper parts of the Buddhist teaching, who are teaching meditation and actually have themselves some experience in meditation. Who is a Shramana? Now the Buddha was sometimes called a Shramana Gotama, and also his monks were called Shramanas of the ascetic Gotama. A Shramana is, usually it's translated nowadays as monk, but it is a little bit misleading. So a Shramana is more like a ascetic, a yogi, somebody who is interested in his own spiritual progress, somebody who is meditating in order to free the mind from all defilements. So a real Shramana is somebody free from lust, hate and delusion, somebody who has made some progress and he's on any of the 4 stages of enlightenment. So how did the Buddha realize enlightenment? By seeing the desire, the disadvantage and the liberation from the 6 senses. Now do you think that the Buddha attained enlightenment one way and we will attain it another way? It should be the same way. Therefore, what is at the beginning, middle and the end of the Buddhist teaching? It is seeing how the desire arises in our mind, how the disadvantage and the bondage arises. And we use a tool like Vipassana meditation to retrain our mind not to grasp anything. So whatever comes into the 6 senses, we label it with a neutral thought. We do not create any new karma. We either grasp anything, nor we push anything away. So with an equanimous mind, we are watching all the sensations in our mind. With that, we keep the mind free from lust, hate and delusion, and we make some progress towards any of these stages of awakening. Uttari Manushya Dhamma is the word the Buddha used for spiritual attainment. It means something like a superhuman state of mind. Manushya is the human, Dhamma here means a state of mind, and Uttari means a superhuman state of mind. So what we can attain in meditation is something out of the blue. So it is not a normal state of mind. It is a state of mind you have never experienced before and can only be experienced in deep meditation. Sangha is the word the Buddha used for the monks and the nuns or the Buddhist order, but in a wider sense it also means anybody who is practicing the Buddhist teaching. So Sangha means a worldwide network of practicing Buddhists with the aim to enlighten their mind. Also, Sangha, in another interpretation, means anybody who has attained a stage of enlightenment. So let's say you reach the first stage of enlightenment, you are a member of the Arya Sangha, the noble Sangha. So from morning to evening we run and we search. And often we say, no, I'm not doing all this out of desire. I go to work, I have to take care of my family, I have to earn some money, I have to do these things for keeping going in my life, for helping my family, for helping others. But if you analyze your actions, you will see that behind everything you do is desire. The desire is running very deeply in our subconscious mind. So whatever we do, whatever we run and search for, it is out of desire or attachment. So tanha, greed and desire, is the root cause of everything we do. It is also the root cause for any ill will, for any lust and for any confusion in our mind. So that is what the Buddha found out. This tanha is at the root of all the problems. If I just can get rid of this greed and desire in my mind, I can free my mind from this worldly reality and move on to higher levels of consciousness. In the Tao Te Ching, the Book of the Way by Lao Tzu, who died 533 BC, meaning he lived about a few hundred years before the Buddha. Now he says this about the senses. The five colors can blind one's eyes. The 5 tones can deafen one's ears. The 5 flavors can dull one's taste buds. The pursuit of pleasure can derange one's mind. The hard to get valuables can distort one's behavior. Therefore, a saint cultivates himself with virtues and does not indulge himself in sensuary pleasures. He rejects those outer temptations and chooses this true nature. Now, at the end he uses the word true nature, which we in Buddhism call the Buddha nature, or things as they are. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth, by Albert Einstein, especially if it comes to spirituality or religion. So whenever you believe anything blindly, it becomes a great hindrance for your spiritual progress. And also too much trust sometimes kills you. So if you believe somebody blindly, if you believe anything blindly, it blocks your progress and it will kill you eventually. The Buddhist teaching is not a belief system. It is also not an atheist system. We believe in liberation, we believe in enlightenment. But we don't believe blindly in any books, texts, or teachers. We trust only our own experience. Meditation and experience. Experience and meditation. Pati-icca, the grasping something with desire. We desire, we feel satisfaction. We hate, we feel burning inside. But what gave us the pleasure? It's not the outer things that gives us any satisfaction. Whenever we grasp anything with desire, we grasp the outer things because the desire is already in our mind. The external objects do not change our desire. They neither satisfy it, nor do they lead to dukkha or suffering. It's our mind's doing. Everything is done by our mind, by the desire in our mind. That also means through meditation I can purify my mind. I can get rid of this desire without any external object or without any external help. So liberation can only come through practice, not by discussion or by theoretical knowledge. It has to come from your own experience. You sit down at a quiet place, you watch your six senses, you work with your mind, and you can attain full liberation from all suffering. So if we lose interest in an object, what we usually do is we change the object. We try to get a new object and think maybe this new object will give me some satisfaction. But after a while you find out this too does not satisfy my desire. So you change it again and again, each time hoping that the new object will give you satisfaction. But where does the desire originate? It comes from deep inside your mind. So the path to liberation is an inside job. All you need is your mind and a quiet place. So letting go of all desires, you need a tool like Vipassana meditation to free your mind from all attachments. So you retrain your mind not to grasp anything, to lean back and just observe. Like you're sitting in the back of a car, somebody is driving, you don't interfere in the driving. You just watch, you just observe. And that is what we do in Vipassana meditation. Now everyone knows that the entire universe is constantly changing. But intellectual understanding will not free your mind. We have to make it our own reality. So you have to observe the constant change in your mind. You watch your senses. You see the arising of your thoughts and the passing away of your thoughts. You understand the anicca, dukkha and anatta on an experiential level. And only that will free your mind. Only that will lead to stages of awakening. So may you all liberate your mind. All the saints say, free your mind, liberate yourself. Know thyself. So may you continue with your meditation, may you understand yourself completely, and may you free yourself from your mind. Sabidyo vivachantu saparogo vinasadu madhe bhavatandarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava.